The government just made some new changes to the immigration rules and it has been published. It's official. So this is an update. Let's go straight into the details. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people, and kindly share it to everyone that needs to see it because it's very important. Okay, it's an update that touches on different visa categories, different sectors, different topics regarding immigration, so everyone needs to watch this. Okay, to all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. If you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button right now. Thank you, guys. At this point, immigration updates never ends, because just when we're trying to digest one, another one is coming up. Like, we can't even keep up anymore, but that's why you have somebody like me to help you keep up. Anyway, there's a new update. The statement of change has just been released, okay, and this contains all the new changes the government have just made, the date is going to take effect, why this was made, you know, why they made that changes, and all the details and information you need to know, right? So guys, we'll just go quickly. I'll just share my screen with you guys right now and show you everything, so we'll look at it together. So guys, this is the statement of changes in immigration rules, and it's usually a long read, right? But the good thing is they usually publish an explanatory memorandum with it, which basically explains or summarizes the rules for us. We'll be looking at this explanatory memorandum to the statement of changes in the immigration rules. Okay, it was just published, so a lot of changes are here, and it also contains the date is going to take effect, right? Different rules, different dates. Some are going to take effect this March, some in April, some July, and like that, right? And guys, there were lots of changes that were made, from visa bans, okay, visa breaks, some countries that the government will not be giving visas anymore, both study and skilled worker visas, to global talent visa, some changes to the global talent visa, to skilled worker visas, you know, to settlements. In fact, lots of changes were made, and it's going to take effect very soon. So let's just look at it, right? Let's just quickly go into it and see everything. Now, the first one is what is being done and why. So this is the introduction of the visa break. If you watched my previous video, I'm sure this is not new to you. So in summary, the UK government have just banned some countries from getting study visas to the UK and some from getting work visas to the UK for now, right? And they're saying it's because they notice that these nationalities are people that abuse this visa system. So apparently, report has it that they come into the UK on a study visa and then they go ahead to apply or seek asylum. And for some, they've even stopped them from applying for skilled worker visa. So it's called a visa break. They say they don't have time when it's going to stop, but they're going to review it as time goes on. So this is just what it means. And it says that we're going to refuse student visa applications from main applicants who are nationals of Afghanistan, Cameroon, Myanmar, and Sudan, right? Additionally, we will refuse skilled worker visas application from main applicants who are nationals of Afghanistan. And this will come into effect from the 26th of March, but will not affect applications made before the 26th of March. So from now until 26th of March, you can still apply to study in the UK, work in the UK from these countries, but after 26th of March, it's not going to be possible anymore. So they're saying that this change would reduce the number of people seeking asylum, because they are, from their data and their record, it just shows that the highest numbers are coming from these nationalities. Okay, so they also say that adults and accompanied and unaccompanied children granted 5 years leave as a result of an asylum claim or further submissions made by 1st March 2026 will remain eligible to apply for settlement after 5 years under appendix settlement protection. So another one is that as part of the restoring order and control statement, the government set out plans to change the further submissions process, which allows individuals to submit new evidence if their asylum claim has been refused or withdrawn and they have exhausted all their appeal rights. So these nationals will be removed from the list of countries whose nationals are eligible to apply for an electronic travel authorization. There's also changes relating to working restrictions in Part 11B, right? So it says that paragraph 360 of the immigration rules is being updated regarding asylum seekers' right to seek work in certain occupations, okay? So that is the new rules will align restrictions with those of the skilled worker routes, allowing access to jobs listed in appendix skilled occupations at regulated qualification framework RQF level 6 or above. I think the essence is just to encourage people to consider jobs that are classed as high level jobs, right? There's also changes relating to prison officers in the skilled worker route. Okay, so I'm sure we have seen the news sometime where the prison officers, the prison service was talking about how the changes were impacting the prison service and urging the government to do something about it. So the government has now responded and saying that they're giving grace to those in this sector, so they can still continue to be sponsored and extend their visas on the previous salary. That's the lower transitional 31,300 salary threshold and 25th percentile going rates to prison officers, right? Okay, so the above end dates refer to the last day that certificate of sponsorship can be issued under this offer to be issued in applications. Applicants can be sponsored for up to 3 years rather than the usual 5 years for skilled workers. And then this arrangement do not apply to entry clearance applications. Okay. So dependents who are already in the UK can apply to extend their stay under these arrangements. No new dependents are permitted to enter the UK under these arrangements. So these are for those that are already in the UK, and dependents are already in the UK as well, So these arrangements apply to prison officers in both public and privately run prisons. So obviously the prison workers or the prison service had called on the government to say these new rules is going to affect our workers because most of them are skilled workers and the new salary threshold is too much. They're not meeting up. They were not even able to extend their visas and all of that. So that it was going to cause a harm to the prison sector and everything. So the government had now listened and now extended, giving grace to those in the prison service. So it's also saying that the measures are time limited and conditional and do not guarantee a route to settlement. We understand that the government is just, very big on this settlement, the conditions you have to meet, the things you have to do, you have to earn the right to be settled and everything. So I guess this is where it's coming from, right? So they're saying even though you meet this, even though you get this conditional offer and everything, it still does not guarantee a route to settlement and all. You must still have to meet those other requirements or conditions that the government have listed. So change relating to pay periods in the skilled worker route. So they're trying to also make changes regarding when a skilled worker should be paid and everything, just so that workers are covered, workers are seen. These changes ensures that UKVI do not need to wait until a full year of salary has been paid where there are concerns about underpayment. This will help to support worker welfare and ensure that every underpayment is highlighted and sponsor is notified and has an opportunity to explain or remedy the issue at an early opportunity, right? So yes, also on clarifying the specific circumstances in which a child can be granted settlement to join a relative in the UK. So you can also take your time and read more on this, Yeah, they just try to explain or clarify the issues surrounding when a child should be settled. Is it after both parents are settled or after one parent has been settled? This clarifies it. You should just go and read more about it, okay? So there's also changes to the criminality provision. So basically, they're now saying that they're not going to consider you for settlement or British citizenship if there is one criminal offense, whether minor or major, that there is nothing like that for you, okay? So that this is going to be an automatic ground for refusal of your application if there's any criminal record, whether minor or major, it doesn't matter, right? So yeah, and they also mentioned that it's also a ground for deportation, right? So everybody now has to be careful because these guys are not playing at all, So you can take your time and just go through it. I'm here to just summarize everything for you, show you guys where to find it so that you can go back and read up for yourself because it's there. It's on the government website. If you just type Statement of Changes March 2027, you're going to see everything there, both the main statement of change and then the explanatory memorandum. They also touched on global business mobility, the youth mobility scheme, and all of that. Changes to appendix victim of domestic violence. They also talked about change to English language requirements. Okay, now these changes increases the English language requirements for settlements to B2 level under the Common European Framework or Reference for Languages for a number of immigration routes, right? Where the existing requirement is at B1 level. So those changes will come into force on the 26th of March 2027. That is next year. Okay, it will therefore apply to those already on a pathway to settlement in the UK, and the rules applying to the skilled worker routes and skill up routes are accordingly amended to apply the language requirements at settlement stage in addition to the requirement specified for a limited permission. So the coming into force of these changes is being deferred until 26th of March 2027 in order to provide those subject to the new requirement with sufficient opportunity to take any steps necessary to meet them. Okay, so they are increasing the English language requirements, and it's going to take effect from 26th of March 2027, right? They also touched on the Hong Kong British National Visa and then the Global Talent Route. So the Global Talent Route is for obviously talented and promising individuals in the fields of science, digital technology, arts and culture wishing to work in the UK. And now, following this commitment made, we are making it easier for top design talent to use the Global Talent Visa and come to the UK. To do this, we are expanding the route to include a design pathway. So they are now adding another pathway to the Global Talent route, called a design pathway, covering additional design roles which are not currently catered for. So the Global Talent route is one that you should also look into if you're considering to move to the UK, because the government says that they are calling on talented individuals to come and work in the UK. So they're also simplifying the requirements of the appointment fast track option to clarify with talented individuals in eligible academic or research positions they can access this pathway, right? So they're just basically touching on the global talent, calling on more people, adding more routes, simplifying everything. So changes have been made to remove reference to the specific name of the service provider actors within the immigration rules and instead refer to a generic term. This does not in any way change the rules an applicant needs to meet and is simply for consistency within the rules. Making changes to the specific name actors. I'm aware that some people use ECTIS to, show their proof of English language as well, just to show that you were taught in English. If you have a degree, a qualifying degree from your home country, you can use this service provider to prove all of that, So the government is making changes to that as well. So it does not change the way things are done or the way you still need to prove your English language and everything. They're just changing the name, So guys, this is it. Okay, they also talked about the consultation. We all know it has ended, but they didn't say anything about it because we're still waiting for the decision to be made. All we know is that the public consultation on settlement have now ended, and there are thousands of migrants that submitted, that contributed to that, So we're still waiting for the government to make further decisions on that. But for now, these are the changes that have been made. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I just thought to share this update to let you know what's going on, the new changes that have been made, everything you need to know, why these changes were made, when it will take effect, and everything. Okay, I want to hear what you think about this in the comment section. Please, this is not an immigration advice. Okay, if you need an expert opinion or advice, do well to get one. This does not replace it. This is strictly for information purposes, right? So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.